Good morning, St. Peter's. Battle strategy number 2. Remember, the war has been won. Christ has defeated evil. He has absorbed and taken on all evil on the cross. He has taken on the wrath of God, and we are now forgiven through him. However, there's still a battle. The battle is for our hearts, that we would worship other things. Yesterday I gave you a strategy. Strategy 1 was accusation, turning accusation back into freedom of forgiveness through what Jesus has done for us. Reminding ourselves of Christ's work, not our work. The second strategy is in chapter 13 of Revelation. You might like to pause now and read that. In chapter 13, it kind of gets a bit confusing here. We see beasts and all sorts of things coming up, but I just want to show you this. Look at chapter 13. This is very simple. The dragon stood at the sand of the sea. That's in chapter 12, 18 at the end. Now the dragon we know is the serpent. It's the Satan from before. But then I saw a beast coming out of the sea. Chapter 13, 1. This is a different beast from the dragon. And then he talks about 10 horns, 7 heads, and so on and so on. This beast is amazing. People say, who is like the beast? Who is able to wage war against it? Notice that theme of war again is coming up. Who can conquer this beast? And so on. And then in verse 10, if anyone is taken captive, into captivity he goes. Anyone is killed with the sword, he will be killed. This calls for endurance and faithfulness. This is talking about God's people who may even be killed to the point if they give testimony to Jesus. But look at verse 11, chapter 13. Then I saw another beast coming up out of the earth. So we have the dragon. We have a first beast. And then we have this other beast in verse 11. And it exercises, what does it do? It exercises authority of the first beast and compels those by performing great signs and so on. Now what we have here, and then we have a mark. The mark of the image of the beast. And no one can sell unless he has the mark or buy. This calls for wisdom. Let the one who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, and its number is 666. Now, all of this adds up to, people like to kind of put all this together and think it's some complicated thing that requires all of this wisdom and insider knowledge. But it's very simple. There's a dragon, there's 2 beasts. And these beasts have all these crowns and authority, and they do great signs. The third beast does great signs which point to the first beast. Do you know what this is? This is simply the Trinity. But it's the satanic Trinity, the unholy Trinity. Just like in the Holy Spirit points towards Jesus, so the third beast points towards, or the second beast points towards the first beast. The first beast is like Jesus, and the dragon, of course, is the usurper of God, the Father. And so we have this unholy Trinity. And then the 666 number kind of fits in with that, because 666 is incomplete. It kind of looks like God. It could be God, but it's not. And then in verse 17 it says, those who can buy and sell have the mark of the beast. The point is that thousands of years ago, Christians were being persecuted, and they would actually have major trouble being part of economic activity. You couldn't just buy things. If you're a Christian, you may have even been excluded and cast out because you didn't give worship to Babylon, Rome, Caesar and the gods. It's not good for economic activity. And that's why you have to have the mark of the beast. That is, you have to be someone who worships Caesar or worships Rome, worships other gods, and makes the sacrifice for other gods. This is the unholy Trinity. Now, what's all this got to do with battle strategy 2? As I said, there'd be a battle strategy 2. Well, it's pretty simple. Battle strategy 1 was about recognizing accusation. The battle strategy 2 in chapter 13 is recognizing false gods, spotting a counterfeit God. There are things in the world that promise to give us satisfaction and lasting fulfillment. I mean, look at any advertisement, and basically that's what it's based on. It's saying, you need this, you deserve this, you're missing this. We worship the one true God who loves us. And at the end of Revelation, the point of Revelation is it'll be a place, or the point of the new heavens is it'll be a place where God is fully present. He'll wipe away every tear, and he'll wipe away every pain and suffering and every mark. We may be tempted to worship other gods. That is, the gods of sex, money, and power, and things that we think will fulfill us. But the point of Revelation 13 is to say this is just a incomplete God. It won't give us what we truly need. It won't satisfy us. And hence the wonderful words of Augustine, who says, I'm restless until I find my rest in thee. That's the message for today. The strategy 1 is remember the accusations and turn them in the condemnations and turn them into the work of Christ and what he's done for you. Strategy 2 is to spot false gods and to renounce them and to worship the one true God. Tomorrow, strategy 3. See you then.